Alright, we're live. Looking at some logic for inviting users to the site. Right now we have a version where all of it is compressed into the controller, and we're going to look at pulling it out. But first we're going to go over what the logic does in the controller. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to follow, obviously, because nothing is really made for ease of reading. It's just compressed in here.
Okay.
Basically what's happening is params are coming in, and the way that the params looks is, let me draw it out, it's gonna have a resend invitation key, which is a string that's a boolean, and then it's gonna have an invite list that is going to be an array of hashes where one rocket, or no, where it's gonna have ID, rocket, one, comma, email, rocket, whatever, and this is obviously, I'm just gonna stop at one, but this is obviously an array that has, many items in it possibly. And so that's what the data looks like coming in. So two major components, the resend invitation key, and then the invite list key. And then once you have the invite list key, you have an array of hashes that you have to work with. So at the top here, we
So
fetch
one question is, why do you need that? Because at one point will be reset invitation false.
on the okay, it's actually false on the initial invitation page. Because the
Okay.
reason we have to do that is to guard against the condition where all over our organization list we have problems where there's 5 different organizations sharing the same email. And so we don't want the person who has that email to get spammed with 5 invites, each inviting them to a different organization, and then it's sort of like a race condition of which one they accept, and all the others just become invalid. It's confusing for the end user, and it's just also bad because it spams the end user. So we have to turn resending invitations off on the initial invite. Once they're already on the invited page, invited not accepted state, there's a page to view the users who have been invited and haven't accepted. We turn resend invitations on there so Rachel can go on there and resend them, because we're sure at that point that there's no duplicates and so forth like that.
Okay.
Right, so this line here, line 7, we fetch. I use fetch instead of directly square
Yeah, I get
bracket
it.
into the params just to raise an error instead of just returning a nil if it's not there. And we just do this little one-liner that basically turns the thing into a true boolean. And I have 2s here just in case a true boolean comes in, that can be parsed as well. Is that clear?
Yeah.
And so then I just broke this into 2 lines because it was getting too long. So we basically have to tell Devise, we have to talk to Devise directly and tell it to set true or false on a certain thing called resend invitation. And then we can do our invites. And so we have here, change word, we'll make this invite list. We have here, we're going into the second part of the params to the array of hashes. And we go, we map over it, where we take each one, calling it an invite, which is obviously one element of the list, which is a hash, with those 2 elements, ID and email, as you see a few lines above my cursor. Is that much clearer so far?
Yeah.
So we go, and the way we do an invite is we call the model that for.invite bang, and the params you have to pass into it is a one-item hash with the email and the current user, who is Rachel. So those two things get combined together, and they get saved into this instance of user. Now, the way that the logic works right now inside the devise code base is that if there's no errors on the user creation process, actually no, I should just explain errors first. So if for instance the email is blank, this user object will come back as an unsaved object, an unpersisted object, and it will have on it, you can call user.errors on it, and you can see the list of errors. It will say email can't be blank, or it will say email is already taken. You know, those are the two most common errors. I believe there's others, but those are the two that we really have to be able to deal with here. Now, this whole thing with the do block, right, is something that's just, I've read inside the devise code long enough to realize that they've got this convenient little thing that if the user has no errors, what you pass into the do block will be done to that user. Otherwise, this won't happen.
Say that again.
Sort of internal thing, what I'd basically be doing is saying, is there any errors on this user? If not, set this association.
Okay.
But this is sort of like a short and friendly way to do that, because I won't get completely sidetracked in explaining all the problems that I had before I did this do block. But basically, if I go in here and manually set the association, and then when you save, it runs validations. When you run validations, regular error messages get wiped out, counterintuitively. So if your user had error on it that said email can't be blank, but then you save it, it'll wipe away that error message and try to save it.
So,
It's just
like, where do you save it then at the moment?
well, it gets saved within devise invitable.
Okay.
Basically, if it succeeds, it saves. If it doesn't succeed, it doesn't save. But that all happens behind the scenes in devise invitable. And what happens inside this do block only happens if it succeeds.
Okay.
Right? And then here, we do this terrible law of Demeter violation, where we look at the user object, we look inside it, and see if it has any errors. If we do, if it does have errors, we take them out one at a time and join them all together. Otherwise, we just say invited. And the result of that gets saved in a local called answer, and then everything gets pushed into a new hash that's sort of like it's actually obviously different than the old hash because it's just got one key value pair instead of two, where you have the ID, the invited or the organization that sent the invite, and you have the answer for the organization.
So here the law of the Demeter violation is in line number 5, right? I mean above.
Yeah, 13.
How is
Because this is a law of Demeter violation and a violation of tell don't ask. Maybe it's sort of a blend of the two. Basically, we shouldn't in code. You shouldn't have conditional switches about the internal state of an object or some other object in your code. You know, you shouldn't say, "Okay, Mr. User, let me look inside you, and if I see this inside you, I'm going to do this with you. If I don't see that, I'm going to do that." That's bad code. That's smelly code. What you should just say is, "Okay, Mr. User, give me what I need to know about errors, and I'm going to save that into this variable here."
Okay.
So if you ever see a conditional where I'm digging into an object, that's smell. So the way I handle this, by the way, is I take a custom module and I extend the user with a special
That is
method
the
that will
one
basically do this all for me.
Yeah, that is the invited user, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So anyway, what ends up coming out of this whole process is at the end of this we have we save this to a local called answers. So answers equals, and then we have hash rocket to invited. So we have an array of hashes like that. And then this last line here, I do a little thing with reduce that you wouldn't really appreciate unless we had two, so I'll just put another one in here where we have number 2. We'll just, to keep it simple, make this one invited as well. Alright. So anyway, this is fine. We take an array of hashes and we return an array of hashes. But to make things easier for the view, which is using jQuery, I decide to reduce it into just a single hash. And so I make use of this whole reduce thing. And I can explain the details in a moment, but let's just go over what it comes out
Yeah.
to.
I
It
mean,
comes out to
you
uh-huh.
call the update method on each of the hashes, but what does the hash dot update do?
Hash update takes 2. Well, let me just finish on this, and then I'll answer that. Takes invited. That's the end result. It comes out to 1 hash instead of an array of hashes. So what reduce does, or what reduce with update does, so normally you have a hash. Let's say let's give it an empty hash. Then you call update, and then you pass in the key. I think the syntax is actually just like this: the key and the value. And what it returns is the actual hash. And the reason why that's a big deal is because if you do a normal write to an array or write to a hash, it will just return that one key value pair. If you don't believe me, pop open the IRB and see for yourself. So when you're using reduce, it uses an accumulator under the hood. Maybe I should write out a more so what reduce does is it takes, I believe the first thing is going to be the memo, the second thing is going to be the method. So in this case it's, I'm just going to pull up the docs real quick so I don't waste time. Ruby reduce is also known as inject, and so I'm just going to look that up. And I'll post the documentation in the chat here. Alright, so let me see if I can write this out in long form. Okay. So this is doing answers dot reduce.
Yeah.
Memo
Teammate session going there.
object. And so I think what we're doing here is calling memo dot update object, basically.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. Let me get the docs for update as well. Ruby hash.
Yeah, Sam, if you want the teammate session link, it's in the chat.
Right, but of course I don't see the chat history because of Google's great design here. So, okay.
You should see
But
it.
so, thanks. Marcelo, are you following what we're working on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And John, what are you diving in and doing something in particular?
Well, I was just giving an overall walkthrough.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Where's the update method? Okay.
Right, you're talking about the data flow.
Mm-hmm.
So John, if I like do update, hash dot update hash, then it'll merge both of them, right?
Yeah, and it'll return the new one, the one with it all together.
But that seems. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, so it's just a synonym for merge, I guess.
Yep. I need to check where the Stack Overflow was again. I think merge required like one extra step, or are they actually just aliases of each other? Or two names for the same method? Yeah, so it is just merge. It's merge with a bang.
Yeah, what's up with the pink thing on the side of your screen?
Well, it's something that's a relic of this default view that you're making me use. I can't answer any more than that. It's not my default color scheme. So, anyway. I mean, this whole block here is something that I have colored differently because that's 80 characters.
Okay.
But in my normal color schemes, it's a slightly different shade of my... So anyway, long story short, we have the data flow at the top of this hash, where one of the items is an array of hashes. We pluck out the first thing and send it to devise, pluck out the second thing, which is the array of hashes, and create a new array of hashes with responses. And then, just for convenience for the view, we compress that into a single hash. Okay, so I yanked out a couple large components of it into just some methods just a moment ago. We can switch back over to that and look at that and continue from there. I don't even need this second window here. Did I actually just like throw out my code? What the heck happened? I feel like I'm not actually on the right branch. Yeah, I'm secretly on bad invitations. Git checkout inv refactor. Pop this back open. I just ripped out some pieces to start breaking into chunks before we think about pulling it off into a service. This is where I took it so far.
Did you start recording already, John?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And okay, so you've done like a crate here, and you've kind of like broken it into a couple of pieces there.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Now let me map a key so we can run the acceptance test. Zeus R spec requests invitation.
So you've now got this little Vim thing that I've seen on my colleague Enrique's thing with the little like arrow things and going blue and stuff.
arrow things going blue. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, across the bottom.
Yeah,
It's
which
just a
is quite
toolbar.
cool.
That's the
Gather. Yes.
It's called Yada, is it?
Yet
Why?
another dot repo.
YADR.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was just wondering, John, in your reviewing of the code, did you review the very, very high-level feature of like the big picture from the client's end?
Explain what you mean?
I mean, like showing the web browser with the admin interface in it.
No.
I wonder if we might do that.
Do you want to do that? Well, I
Sure.
won't touch the code.
That's Kumumba you have there. But yeah, I'm going to go on a. John, you've misspelled cucumber. The audio's cut out there.
Okay. Sure. Cucumber.
Although I think I'd like to know what a cucumber tastes like. That sounds like. I'm going to get my screen share on. I mean, I think what's fascinating about this is it's a very like at the top level. It's a very oh, I don't know. It's got everything. It's like they say. It's like a movie. It's got love. It's got romance. It's got action. It's got violence. It's got laughter, crying. It's got everything. This feature, and I've been kind of like taking it apart at different levels for myself. What have I still got? I have not. No, I've closed all those things. Okay, well that's on my other list of other feature requests. David's not absolutely, but anyway. I think that the
John,
So
if you're there, if you can hear me, like, can you open that file once?
Yeah, in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
so I guess John's just sort of doing the background on running that through there. I guess if you guys want to look at my screen, like my understanding of the big picture here is that we've got this admin interface. Marcel and Sapri, you can see this admin interface, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so the way this is set up is that the admin user for the community network can say, right, okay, I've got all these organizations and some of them haven't got users, and so I'd like to invite these people into the system and have them pre-associated with the organization so that when they log in they're able to do it. And so what the admin would do is click on these different things here, and then they would click invite users, and then there's a JSON request to the server, which sends back some data in a JSON format, which is then processed by this controller that John's been showing you here, and then that gets sent back and received by the browser, and the browser then updates these individual rows with a message, either invited ! Or potentially an error message. No, we lost somebody.
Okay. All right.
But Marcelo, that makes sense at the high level, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I was kind of looking. I was looking at it before. I want to kind of find the.
And then if you invite, and can you click on the organization and it'll tell you who was invited?
So what happens after that? Once this page is refreshed or the user comes back in later on, the admin user, there's a separate page which has got invited users. So you can see a list of who you invited when.
Oh, okay.
So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, say again your question. What were you asking?
No, I was asking if you click on the step prior to that.
Yeah.
If you click on the organization, does it tell you who did you invite? And you just answer my question.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it ends up in a different list. The reason I ask again is just that I think there's a whole series of things about making this more transparent for the admin user about what they've done.
The admin user is the admin for for that particular organization?
No,
No,
it's the
Rachel.
admin user for the whole system. So this
Okay.
is what this is. This is
This
a
is Rachel.
by the site-wide admin invites individuals to be admins for their organizations, so that they can edit the data associated with their organizations.
Okay.
And I don't think you might have changed this now, John. But so I was looking at actually what was the when the JSON request went through.
Everything's the same.
It's still the same. So this was an example request that came in, like the JSON data that came through, and then this is the kind of response that it gets. So it's going from, you know, a series of organization IDs and their associated emails, and the key thing that's happening is that we're creating users based on these emails and associating them with the organization ID, and then we're passing back to say, yes, we successfully invited this user for this organization ID, or potentially that we had some kind of failure and we weren't able to do it. But so the key, I mean, we can, I guess we can kind of agree that the key data transformation is from this to this, right?
Yeah.
The thing that I was looking at in this, like, is there some reason why we need to have the invite list twice? Is that some sort of strange artifact?
That may have been an artifact of your copy-paste. I do not think we have invite list twice. Or, I mean, I don't know where that invitation key came from. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the very interesting thing to look at as well. So this is, I think, particularly for Marcel. Obviously, you know this already, John. Particularly it's interesting for me is if we look at how the data flows through the system. In that, in the initial instance, what we've got is a view. The view's already been loaded, so we've got this organization reports without users view, which produces this, you know, HTML. With you know, these checkboxes which have got the organization ID and the organization email. And if we go and look at, you know, one of these, the sort of the checkbox, we can go and see. Is it there? Yeah. No, wait a sec. Which is the checkbox? There's the checkbox. So we can see each of these checkboxes has a data ID and a data, you know, email has a, you know, organization ID and the email.
Yes.
And so then we also have some JavaScript. So we have, I think I've actually got that over here. So we've got this JavaScript, which is kind of applied to the page. And so, okay, where's the, here we go. What it does is here, it's like we do this select all, and it goes through, and well, maybe even help me out here, John. It basically
Select all is something that's just turned on.
Okay.
Right there. It's not necessarily. She has to click it for the select all.
Yeah. Okay. So the select all and invite user, that corresponds to these two boxes up here.
Yeah.
Which is the bit that paints the thing onto the is that just?
It's the success response, and this honestly needs to be broken apart into functions because it's all one nasty imperative block. But success starting on line 26 is the part that.
Right. No, that's the bit that updates it. I'm thinking about more like in the first instance actually. And Sampriti's joined us again. I'll just go. Sampriti, we lost you. I was just showing.
Yeah, I know. I sent a message and then went away.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, no problem. But we were just saying, like, so the high level thing for this feature is basically the admin of the site being able to specify a number of organizations that should have invites sent out to these email addresses.
Yeah. I heard it till then.
Right, and then so what we're looking at is here. This is the view that generates that, and we see the organization ID and the organization email for each of those checkboxes. And then, but what I was saying there, John, is there's something that adds some function, like this view by itself, the raw HTML doesn't have any functionality, right? It's just a data holder.
Yeah.
And so there's something that in the JavaScript that adds functionality to the checkboxes. So when the checkboxes are clicked, right, then
When the button is clicked at line 7.
invite user is clicked,
Yeah.
and when invite users is clicked, it goes through. Here we go. So it gets all of the checkboxes
Yep.
that are checked, and then for each of them, it pushes this ID and email onto the values array.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's this array here.
Okay.
I can't hear any audio from you at the moment, John.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm kind of saying this, and maybe I'm saying this with so much authority. You're like, oh yes, well, it's just totally correct. I'm sort of looking for some forlornly for confirmation on your part that I'm saying the
Oh
right.
yeah, no, you're right.
John, and Sam, can you explain? Like, John was saying something about having 5 or 6 emails being sent. I didn't quite understand what was like how that would happen. If John, you could show me.
Yeah, well,
if you could, Sam, maybe search in the email list for, if you sort by email, you should be able to pull up some where you can see basically the group by a bunch of duplicates.
There was, but we can. There was one that we had before, but yeah. Some of the organizations have this, like there. These two have the same email.
Oh, okay.
And so at the moment we don't support
invites turned off. It's because these might not be side by side. Rachel may not notice that. She checks them both, sends it, and this poor man or woman with the email account gets 2 or 10 email invites to the website, not understanding why. And then it becomes really messy on our side because which one does she accept versus which one did she mean to accept? She gets associated with the one she accepted, but did she mean to click that one and not the 9th one that came in? So we just completely block that and only accept the first one that comes through.
So, all right, we only send a single email, right? Okay. But so, because going back to this, so this array here is constructed by this this operation here, right? And then we check, are we allowing resends? And is that
That's set by
something?
the view.
Do we have some sort of, where do we have the, what controls whether we're allowed us to resend? Is that,
It comes out of the controller.
That just comes out the other.
Sets an instance variable, and the view just slaps it into a data attribute.
Right, and then that's just it's off on this page, and it's on the other page where we've already invited them.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So it's false in this case. And then we go through here, and it says that we set up our the data that we're sending. So it's got the invite list values, and then resend an invitation. Yeah. And I don't know what that. Yeah, so there's nothing in here that suggests that the data would be being sent twice. Is there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, this is just saying JSON stringify, invite list of values, resend invitation to resend invitation. I mean, I got this out of, this was the, I actually did the thing in a browser. All right, hold on. Yeah, that's what came out. But anyway, it certainly looks, yeah. So it sends that, and then the server responds with the data, and it goes through, and then this is the process whereby it opens up and sticks the, the result into one of the checkbox, replaces the checkbox with the result. But so one of the things I was saying to you, John, is it seems that one thing is that, like, since we control the data coming in and the data coming out, there's no reason in principle why the invite list couldn't be more similar to the thing that we send back. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying I thought if we did that, then maybe the transformation of the data would be less complex.
We can definitely play with that, but by losing the names, it's, I think, harder to,
The
well,
ID and the email.
we could judge that, but to say I'm pulling out the email right now and then working with the email makes sense for me, at least when I first set it up, but if we can golf it down into more compact, it definitely would be a win.
But yeah. But so anyway, so I think we're all clear that there's kind of we're independently actually of its structure. What we've got is we've got kind of pairs. We're receiving pairs of data in that they are an association between an organization ID and an email, and we want to send back that same organization ID and then also the status result of having attempted the invite is the kind of key high-level thing that we're trying to do here. Right?
Yes.
Yes. But then, so I don't know which version of code I've got. So you've got, I mean, I guess so you were running some acceptance tests in the background there against one version of the code that you had.
Yeah, I'll switch the screen back to me. There's two acceptance tests that we can run here. Comma RC, when you're in command mode, will run the cucumber, and comma RT will run the one acceptance request that we have. So I'll run the request right now. Sanity check right there, and just above you can see the cucumber finished running. So that way we can basically just run the tests as we're tangling with it to see if we broke something.
Okay.
And I can push this branch up if other people want a copy of it, or we can just work in this editor here. All I've done is just rip out some major components into some sub-methods. I've pulled it out twice, basically.
It was looking really clear to me, and then suddenly it kind of, the color scheme inverted, but I don't know.
Well, I can put it on a... So this color scheme doesn't work well for you?
I don't know. For me, I get like a gray background and then purple.
Same here.
Purple.
Yeah, I need to pick a... I need to do something.
That's much better for me. Thank you.
Yeah. This is sort of like an ugly compromise right here, but at least it works for everybody.
Right. So I guess you've now pulled out a couple of methods there. Right. I mean, I guess that I'm always what I want to do here is put that, which I guess I will do on my screen, is put that side by side with the high-level version that you. If I can find it. Here it is. This was your version. I guess the funny thing here with this refactoring is I guess I'm slightly confused by the situation of usually we would sort of drive the thing and we'd have we'd have a controller spec and then we would be refactoring it against a controller spec. But I guess go on, Marcelo.
What do you have on the left?
So here I have on the left. This was John's version. That's like all of the stuff in a single method.
Single method. Okay.
Yeah, just in a single method. And so here on the right, then I have John's pulled out a couple of method names there.
Got you. Okay.
So I guess I feel. So I mean, although what I guess John is doing with the what I would love to do, John, is do you have is this version here that's you've got a branch called bad invitations? Is that still in the state that I think it's in? I guess I can refresh.
Yeah, it is.
What I'm tempted to do is to do. Let's do this. Azure Ventures git fetch John.
John, can you like horizontally expand your screen?
Oh, why? We only have one window.
Okay, never mind.
I think what I'm tempted to do on my screen here is try to go to. Let me close others. Let's have a look here. So if we look at the features, the spec. So we've got is it a request spec, John? Yeah. Okay. So this is the request spec that sort of is our integration test that sets up the appropriate incoming data and checks that we get the right data coming out.
It could use really it's the third describe block that matters. The other two actually belong in the controller test, and they are in the future.
Okay, all right. But that's that makes me feel good, because that was, I was kind of like, oh, we haven't got control spec, but if they go there, it's exactly where they live is not. I think for the purposes of the refactoring, it's
Right.
not such a big deal. And let me go and find. So we're talking about this, the invitations controller, which if I now bring over here, okay, so here's our ugly one. There, and so potentially if I run this in here. Now, what will happen in there? Is that doing? This could not find. I guess I might have to do bundle install. Could not find Xcode in any of the sources. Bundler gem not found. That's annoying. Bundle exec break spec. It would be nice if that would just work in here. That was. I thought Sampriti had just fixed something with the. I wonder if this RubyMine has got confused out of the. Yeah, my things are running. The issue that I was having on OS X seems to have disappeared, which has led me away from the local, the Vagrant thing, I guess, for our speed purposes. Don't need to look at the homework. Yeah, everything's passing for me there. I wonder if it's pending. So it looks, we'll just come back up and do the same thing. I guess even that doesn't work, we should just push on. So I like the method names that you've created there, John, like invite single user and so on, are, you know, that's nice and self-explanatory. Maybe it's giving me the install missing gems option.
Is it in RubyMine? I think it's because of your Ruby SDK. If you go to go to file settings, I mean in RubyMine.
Mm-hmm.
In RubyMine, go to file settings.
Preferences?
No, settings,
yeah.
default settings. Okay, yeah, that'll work as well. Okay,
That'll
open
work,
Ruby,
yeah.
click on Ruby SDK and gems. No.
So go back.
Cut the search term. Cut the search term. Yeah, click on that.
Yeah.
So I think you need to select 545. Check the Ruby version in your terminal.
Yeah. What is telling you to use?
545, yeah.
Yeah, so double click on
I
545.
want to be 545, yeah.
Yeah, and now click OK and stop bundle. Stop bundle fast. Stop it fast. No, just click stop.
On this
The
one?
red stop. Yeah, fast.
No, I was doing bundle install.
Okay, no problem. I mean, it's on the old Ruby,
I
so
guess,
it might
yeah,
mess things
the
up.
bundle install would have been available in the, yeah.
And now it should work.
Yeah, so that one's finished there with bundler. Maybe it didn't need to run, and okay, it's updating some indices in the background. But yeah, I mean, so to get into the code here, and well, the entire thing ran in the background, so that's fine. Just looking at this, I guess the first thing for me, like even before pulling other stuff out of it, is just this initial, you know, we've got these two lines here, which are flag, params fetch, resend invitation, 2s, and then devise resend invitation equals flag. And I guess it's like, have we got a coherent high-level description for what that is doing?
I mean, it's indicating, well, it's, what did I call it? I had a sort of a name for it before. What I was calling is devise invite resender.
But basically, is this the on devise
Send invite setting?
This resend invitation setting basically is whether it allows us to set. If this is set to false, and we try and send a second time, it won't send the invitation.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep.
So, I mean, almost if we were to have a comment here, which described, are you really not going to let me type in there? Oh, thank you. Okay. That described what these two lines were doing. What would we say? This is we're letting devise know.
Oh, toggling the resend invite setting.
Right. But I mean, toggling the devise resend invite setting is kind of like a logical description of what that is, but it sort of implies that you know what it actually does, right? So we're kind of like at the slightly higher level, right? Like toggling is letting devise know if it's okay to resend an invitation, right?
Sure.
Is that like now? And what you said there, John, was you said toggling the devise resend invitation
Setting. Yeah.
And I wonder if we can reflect on which of these, to somebody particularly who's coming along and they don't necessarily know anything about devise invitation, which of these might be more comprehensible?
I think both mean the same thing.
Right. I mean, you know, they clearly do mean the same thing. The question is about whether.
Yeah, I mean, both convey the same thing in the same way, I guess.
Oh, but you think they convey the same thing in the same way?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
okay and not okay. Toggling. I mean, both. And there's a binary option that we're flipping one way or the other.
There clearly is.
And
go on.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, the thing for me is, when we say the devise resend invitation setting, it's not clear to me, like, what a resend invitation setting is. I mean, I know now because we've kind of gone through it and worked it out. But you know what I mean? Imagine that somebody's just coming and reading the code. I guess that would you guys say like that having a setting that's like says resend invitation set to true or false, it's kind of transparent what it should do.
I mean, imagine this is a GUI, and you're just like told to learn how to use it, and you're just like opening the menus and looking at the things that are presented to you. If you came across a menu item in the email part that says resend email, and it's like true or false, I think that's transparent, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or if you're playing a video game and you open the settings for it, and it's like y-axis, invert, yes, no. You know, I mean, I feel like that's just common. You know, we don't need to say, let the game invert the y-axis for you. Okay, not okay, you know?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would say more that the thing is, if we're saying we're toggling it, I mean, I guess the it feels to me that kind of like saying something like, you know, we're allowing or not to send. But I guess there's not much in arguing the toss there. I guess what we could say is it's fairly clear that these two lines are quite a long-winded way of saying either of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be tempted to, like, if we were talking about the high-level narrative of what we're doing here, I mean, I'm just looking for if we have a statement 1, which is I guess I'm also trying to use, like, just even toggling something is kind of a technical term to me. You know what I mean? It's like you know, to try and use. I'm trying to like. Am I trying to dumb it down? Tell devise, you know, whether to allow resending invitations. Would you not agree that it's more sort of casual, friendly English? No.
I mean, if
Yeah.
I say, tell the switch to turn on the light, you would understand what I'm saying. But you could also just say, flip the switch. You
Right.
know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think we want to go with, if possible, the most, you know, the least convoluted way of saying whatever we want to say. So it's kind of, I mean, in the first instance, you know, we could talk about how we refactored the code there, but it's sort of, it's like, I would almost want to do this as something like, I don't want to do, I almost want to do like, okay to send, so I would almost want to say like, check if okay to send, to resend invitations.
I mean, why can't we just have a method name? Like, if you, let's say you wanted these two to be in a method name, then we could just have toggle resend invitation. I mean, check if okay to resend invitations. That seems kind of a very long method name, right?
I don't know. I think long method names are fun. Or I think the thing is about having, if we had like toggle, you know, I think that this is more. This tells us at the high level about. Think about the story, right? Is we're receiving this information from. Imagine that this is a communication that we've received from the user about what they want to happen, right? And imagine that we're processing the information from the like, what's the thing that I do first? Like, it's not like if I was getting a request from, you know, via email from the user saying, you know, can you do this for me and that and whatever, you know, I could say, one, okay, I'm going to toggle the resend invitation thing. That seems to miss the active part of what I'm doing. Toggling it is like what a robot does. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Toggling
see, I think you're actually wrong here, because the sentence you wrote, check if okay to resend invitation, sounds like it will return true or false. Whereas what we're doing is we're actually sending information.
I haven't got the I guess, yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm doing yeah, I'm sort of saying like, check if it's okay to resend the invitations. I guess I'm there. That's like checking this thing, and then we're passing that on to devise. So it's like, I guess almost then we could have it as like, tell devise if okay to resend invitations.
Or just tell devise to resend invitations, true, false.
Tell devise to, yeah, I guess if we were passing the true, I mean, I guess I was going for that we would extract all of that into here, like this.
Yeah.
Like so, and then we don't have to pass a thing to it. We're just saying, right, the first thing that we're doing is we're telling devise if it's okay to resend the invitations or not. But so I guess, like you were thinking there, John, it could be we could say tell devise if okay to resend invitations, and then pass a parameter in there.
No, okay, I see what you're saying.
So we've got tell devise if okay to resend invitations. So that's step one. Right. And then so now this is the thing about the self-documenting code, is it's like we go here from a point where the comment is almost redundant because of the name of the method.
And that should be snake case.
Okay, yeah. That's sorry, that's my Java skirt flipping out there. And yeah, I think the snake case reads actually much nicer. Like so.
Yeah, I mean, so like, don't you think these method names, when they get long, I mean, like,
Well, I think there's a limit. I think if you're going over 80 characters, then it's sure. It's definitely too much.
Well, I mean, method names should, according to me, method names shouldn't be going over 20 characters or something like that. I mean, that's what I think.
Well, I mean, I think that's a we could say max length for method names, and we could ask the Google. It's sort of when is we've got like when is a function like getting too long? It's like if there's a shorter but yet descriptive way to name the function, then the function is too long.
Yeah,
when
like
you can't make them.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. It's like you could say toggle resend invitations. I would find myself kind of going. I would just sort of block on that momentarily for like toggle resend invitations. What does that mean? Whereas tell device if it's okay, if okay to resend invitations is totally unambiguous. It seems to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, we can, I guess it's, it might seem like there's a pointless recursive debate, but let's look if we can get some more progress. So we've got the,
Also as a side step, like on line 29, just remove the ternary operator where it says question mark true or false. That's not required.
Right, we can just do that. Well, or to that, can we not just do this?
Yeah. But I think the previous one kind of reads better. I mean, sometimes if you have long method name, long lines, it's harder to understand.
Sure. Yeah. So, yeah. But so going on in here, so what we're doing there, I think you were talking before, the fetch thing, basically it fails in a nice way if we don't have the values in there. Is that what's going on with that?
It doesn't. The worst thing about Ruby is nils.
Yes, I hate them.
Slip in there, and then you don't catch them until like 3 methods later. And this will fail noisily right at the spot that the nil would have occurred.
Okay, right.
Now, you can also pass a default value if you don't want a noisy failure, but I don't think we want that.
But in this case, we're sort of assuming that the we've got the values. I'm going to try to maybe pull those up to the side there. And can I have these two things at the same time? I guess maybe I can't, or at least not easily without moving these things out of the way. Like that. Oh, my data. What's the data looks like that? Okay. Right. So we're going to grab the params. We grab the values. I'm not seeing a values thing in there. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong.
Yeah, it got renamed. You have an older branch there. That is.
Okay. So
I went all the way back to develop and branched off.
Oh, okay, right.
So,
yeah, so that could be. Yeah, we talked about making them into this being a more descriptive.
Right, it's called invite list, as you see there. So just for the sake of writing it all in one place, if you want to rename it, it's not going to pass an acceptance test. Well,
no. I think we can leave values. It's getting values. I mean that's a subsequent refactoring there. But so what we're doing here, so we're basically getting that thing, and then we're doing a map on that, and for each element, we're going through and we're constructing. Yeah, a new element that's going to be in the map, and then that's going to be returned, and that's answers, and then we're going to do the answers. And this reduce. So the answers thing that it creates is, it's got like a series of individual hashes, and then you're reducing it.
Yep.
Right. Would we not want to just? I guess we can't just return these.
It's painful for a jQuery then, because then it will have to iterate through the list each time it wants to, for every checkbox. It's basically got to do a whole lot more searching.
But isn't the thing that ultimately, after doing reduce, aren't we sending back something that looks like this? Yeah. That's the JSON that we send back, right?
Yeah.
So if we want to construct JSON like that, don't we just want to, like for each element of the map, we want it to return a single array element like hash element like this.
Yep.
But I guess is this not legal Ruby in order to pass back a?
No, it is. Yeah, you just put some curly braces around that. and you're going to come back with an array of hashes.
Yeah, but if I do, it's going to come back with an array of hashes. Okay, but what we've got, okay.
So
we're
the
not,
high level we're mapping.
So the map is, wait a sec. So we've got here what have we? Okay, so what we've got incoming, like from
It's an
here,
array of hashes.
incoming, we've got an array of individual hashes.
Yep.
Okay. I see. And so, right, got you.
I think for the sake of consistency, like in the middle of the, I saved the transformation for the very last thing.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I think that's all. I mean,
It's
again,
doing
it
an
makes,
array of hashes into an array of hashes.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes me think of, transforming one data structure into another when there is potentially complicated. It seems to me like if we had the incoming data being in this form. I mean, I guess you're doing this like fetch email and fetch ID, which I guess lends some, what's the word, comprehensibility to the relative things. But if the incoming data was in this form, then we could just go along that. It wouldn't need to be in an array, right? It could, if we had the incoming data as a hash of these things,
Mm-hmm.
we could just go through updating the hash and then return it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's,
Yeah, we could do
I guess,
each pair, I suppose.
yeah. I mean, or you can just get the keys and go through, and you get the keys and then you loop through the keys. But I think that's maybe that's a separate thing. Obviously, that would then involve pulling in and making changes to other things. But so we can, I guess, what the interesting thing is, first up, we're getting here. We've got this operation here of doing user invite, which passes in a block. Now, what's happening here is a user invite. Go on.
This is sort of complicated, but before I was using this block, let's set aside exactly how the block works.
Mm.
It gives you an instance. Now, that instance would either be persisted or not persisted.
Mm-hmm.
If it's persisted, there was no errors, and a new user is created, and everything's good. If it's not persisted, it gave you back sometimes a copy of the user you already had.
Yeah.
Previously, like if this was a resend invitation, or what's it called? Email already exists error, basically, because of the resend invitation. It'd give you back the old one, unpersisted. But see, the thing is, if you go on there and you just below it set the organization ID and save it, you're gonna mess it up and associate the.
Yeah, fair enough. And
anyway, so
I,
there's a trick with this block here that comes from inside the code where if there's no errors and if block given, it will do this before it saves it.
I see.
So
yeah, no,
sort
fair
of
enough.
Implicit, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
it's concise. So
No, that's
I went with it.
But so, no, that's fine. So I mean, so basically, after we've told Divide whether it's okay to resend invitations or not, the next step is to basically invite, invite a user. I think it's right. Invite a user for each submitted organization. Right, is the next thing that we're doing, and that kind of.
And gather their response.
Right. So we do the invitation of the user, and invite a user for each submitted organization, and prepare response to send back.
Now,
So-
the way I expressed that just now was send invites and gather answers. Maybe that's too terse, but
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me here that we've got like this.
I mean,
This-
you could extract 15 to 17 into another one method, then 18 to 22 into another method, and then for the whole thing into another method where you pass in the two internal parameters, maybe.
Yeah.
That's one way. I mean, I think that's certainly attempting refactoring there. I guess I'm just looking at this invite thing. I kind of want to pull in like a little component of the invited list into here so we can see it like so. So
right, so that's one hash.
Yeah. So we've got this. So this thing is like a little hash which consists of the organization ID and the email. And I kind of almost want to do something here where, just looking at this, it really makes me want to do. Yeah, what I really want to have is have this as the incoming, right? And then I would be doing something where I would kind of, let's say that we had got that and we said this was, oh, I don't know, invites, right? And then I would be doing map.
No, you do each pair, and then you could get the key values and iterate.
No, you can't.
You
can just do map. Yeah,
hold
map
on.
key value. Yeah.
I was saying, can we not do something like this?
Yeah, you can.
Like that, and then we would be looping through, and we'd have the ID and the email there going through.
What does that return, though?
Well, this is a map, so it's gonna, whatever we construct for it to return.
But that's going to return inside an array.
Well, that's no. But if we do if we take, I mean, that's the interesting thing. I think here we want to go to IRB. If we have or even we go to pry, if it's installed in some, yes. So if we have, so this is our hash is equal to this. If we do hash map and we do ID, comma email, and then we do ID, oh, I don't know, this is probably totally screw up, but I want to see what it does. You don't like that. You're expecting a thing. I guess it's gonna like that. Right, the map returns an array. I guess what I'm...
Try each pair.
Can I just do it with each, or, well...
Yeah, but that you can do it with each, but that doesn't return anything, right?
No, but I maybe don't need to. So hold on, like, if I do hash ID... I wonder if I can do... I mean, I probably can't do this, but let's just see. No, it doesn't like that at all.
Just ID will work.
But I wonder, is there not a method that we've got in Ruby? It's like Ruby hash reduce operation. Is there?
Oh yeah. Well, how are you looking to reduce?
Well, what I would actually love, the transformation that I would love to see is I would like to go from, I'd like to loop through each element of the hash and update the keys in the hash. So, oh sorry, no, maybe like this. Yeah, this. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay. Is email defined there? Try that with an email.
Well, now if we go back and if we go back to this, if we say that's the hash.
Yep.
Right, and I go and say like that.
Do email plus something. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Do you see what I mean about how if we change the data structure that's incoming,
right,
to be much more like the one that's outgoing, we then get a very simple way of updating that.
Right.
And we don't need any of these reduce statements or any of this other stuff.
Yeah, and changing what's coming is just like a two-line change. Two-line change. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there might be some Jasmine tests that need changing as well, but so I think, yeah, I really, yeah, it should have been, kind of each, and then we've got like invites. So if we were to write that, it would be something like, so we've got our invites coming in.
An
there.
answer.
And I mean, I think, yeah, we sort of, it seems like that one that you were going for there, John, which was like def invite
single
user or single user could easily be. But so here, this operation here, this relies upon having we've got certain things here, and we've got email and current user. Is that the
and ID
and ID, and this is organization ID.
Yep.
So if we have it like that, and then we've got email and current user, yeah, that looks about right, doesn't it? So what we would need to be doing here is we'd need to be calling, we'd need to be getting here the user is equal to invite their current user, which current user was, well, oh, right, we just got that, haven't we? Actually, current user is visible down here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just visible anywhere.
As of now, since we're in the controller.
Since we're in the controller, so we could just for the simplicity of here, we could stay with that. So we've got an organization ID, no, that's the ID, and so I can actually, just to be clear there, we could do that there. And then, so we've got user, invite user, and then we've got, then we need to find, then we want to basically say something about what was the response.
So this is where I mixed in a module so that we can, instead of if user.errors.any blah 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 else invited, we could just call user.status.
Right. You did. Yeah, sure. I was going to go. So ultimately, we wouldn't need that. But so, and I think ultimately these mixing in modules things we can definitely do, but we don't want to do them too soon. Like it's great to take, you know, like a one step. And so here, if this is like check, I'm going to check results of invitation, and that was here, and it's like that just needs user, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing else. Check result of invitation. Check result of. See, in here we can do check result of inviting, and then you can do like check result of inviting user, like that, and then answers equals. There was the map.
No, that's not required.
Why was there a map there on the answers? Was there more than one? I don't know.
No, that was to like assign the arrays of hashes to answers. So.
Do we? Is there? Should we have been assigning arrays of hashes to answers there, John?
No, not anymore.
I'm just trying to remember what the. Oh, I think that's sort of collapsed as I've deleted various. Oh, okay, yeah, it was here, and then to send it to there. Okay, yeah, right. So. Okay, so basically there we've got that, assuming that we get the invites, and the invites have now been updated. So now the JSON response to there would just be invite to John, Jason there. And I mean, we would need to have, you know, invites would need to be, what was it? It was just like params, what was it, John? It was like fetch values.
Yeah, in this case.
This case here. So,
and just for the sake of being able to run your acceptance test, you might want to do a reduce here above this, just so you can, you know, make sure that.
Okay. Like if I ran reduce on that there, then it would actually collapse. I don't know. With the reduce.
You need to use the reduce that I had with the arguments of an empty hash and update.
Oh, okay. So that takes like. Each of the okay, all right, woohoo. So, like kind of like that.
Yep.
And so invites each. Yeah, I mean, so and so possibly if we adjusted the data structure, we wouldn't need this. You could
the second half at least.
You could even like. You could even be doing params values. This is kind of ugly maybe, and you could do this, and you could rewrite the params as you went through.
When we rename that to invite list, well, it won't be. It will be invite hash, but yeah, params.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument that says that, you know, you shouldn't update the params kind of in place. I think I don't know how strongly I believe in that, but But so we could have here, like, this is like, we could, if I just go call this get invitations, and then def get invitations. But so, like, I think if now that I pull this up to here, and we look at our you know, I think still with the each, it's kind of like a little bit, it's not, doesn't read as Englishly as I might have hoped, but might we agree that this overall is kind of more comprehensible?
Yeah, I would still want to take that out of the controller, though.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it has to reside in the controller so much. But I think the critical thing is that, you know, like, before I took it into a service, I'd want to do something like this and kind of, you know, and then, but like, also, if we were taking it into a service, I think I would probably just take it like this into one service. I wouldn't, in the first instance, try and split each of these different things out into a separate service. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, having this instruction here that this is what I'm doing, and then I can look down and refer to, oh, okay, that's the details of how that works. Okay, and then, oh, and there's this kind of invite user thing. Oh, okay, but here's the details of how that works. And oh, okay, and here's the details of how this works. I think is much more manageable for people than coming to like 6 connected services, if you know what I mean. I mean, I would be extraordinarily surprised if this passed any kind of test at the moment, but and I don't know if I've got the right tests available. But this one, can we run this test? Run invitation. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go for the beta starters meeting in a minute. Yeah. So it's got some kind of error. There's something.
What are the keys there?
I think the keys there are the ID in the email, rather than the actual. So, but anyway, should I check in this broken branch, or what should I do?
Yeah, that's fine.
Here we go. Git status. Git commit. -am. This is broken, but is an example of factoring. Git push origin bad invitation, and it's bad. Okay, yeah. But so I think I don't know about you guys. I feel like that transformation that we've got going on here, like this, is much cleaner than what we had originally.
I would say it's more cohesive.
Yeah, I mean cohesive. Oh, it's just there's fewer steps required because we've basically made the distance that we have to go between here and here smaller. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Anyway, I'll leave that with you. I should do this beta starters meeting now, and I will catch up with you on Thursday. Hopefully tomorrow they'll give me day release to do Atlantic Scrum, but yeah, and I'm hoping to bring up these makers guys are all busy bashing their heads against RSpec, and they've only been programming Ruby for a week, the core things. I'm hoping I can get them up to a level where
test at all, or is it straight to RSpec?
They went straight to RSpec. I mean, I wanted to teach them just hand-rolled testing with like raise, your own errors if whatsoever. The guy, the other makers, the main coach there, was saying he didn't want to do that. He was worried that would be more confusing. And I don't know. It's not a
test.
What'd you say, Tempery?
Go on, Tempery.
Nothing.
I was impressed by Minitest when I saw Ruby Lab using it. Just because it's built into Ruby, and it basically has what you want, where must equal or won't equal. It's all you need for your basic assertions.
Yeah.
All this should receive and then return stuff is actually sometimes bad to do anyway. If you start testing the implementation.
Prevents you from a mock train wreck sometimes. Like
Yeah.
there is not much mocking or stubbing in many tests.
Yeah,
But there's
don't
still
know,
the it, the describe, the subject, the let. You have all that stuff. So
there's a lot of
pretty
confusion.
sweet.
I mean, it's a big judgment call. I mean, I find myself both with the MOOC, where I've got Armando and Dave. Obviously, I like the guys who are saying it should be done, and also with Makers, where I'm just like helping out part time, and they've got there's lots of people who seem to have very strong ideas about the way that it should go, and I don't know. I feel like I just in both cases there are a lot of very confused students, and I don't know. I'm hubristic enough to feel that I don't know. I question how well the powers that be understand the pain that the students are going through. But maybe they are also agonizing along with me about the students. I mean, I think everybody's trying to make the right compromise in order to help people learn. But anyway, but that I was was that was quite fun doing that refactoring. I'm sorry, I ended up being me driving rather than you guys.
No, that's fine. It's more efficient.
But Marcelo and Sanpriti, like,
Yeah.
that made sense, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Totally.
Okay.
Basically, what I like about it is that the code takes you through the flow of the actions.
Right. It's the high level.
Yes.
We've got the high level actions here of.
Yes.
Is it okay to send the written innovations? Let's just grab those invites. Okay, for each one, we're going to invite a user. We're going to set the result of having invited them, and then we're going to put that back as JSON.
Yeah.
And I mean, one more thing, like, shouldn't that be just result of inviting user instead of check result of inviting user?
Could be. Yeah. Either way. And I think you could spend then some more time. I'm not wedded to any of those things. I also you could argue that maybe this could be pulled out into a method that was you could now have, for example, invites, or you could just like invite users, and I think it was collate results, and you could take that and you could slap that into there even, and you could do this. Oops. Like that, and that's now a really high level. We're doing these two things, and we've got then, because I think as soon as you have like each do and then different things, you're losing your high level summary.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, I guess in principle, you could even pull the. I don't know if you're allowed to do this. You're probably not allowed to do this.
But I think like that should be there in the create action itself.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That, I mean, what happens is the service is going to return the result of invite users and collate results, and so the service call equals that, and you can still do your.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cute, but when this comes out of the controller, you'll want to leave behind in the controller the render.
Oh,
and
sure.
the JSON
Yeah,
part.
I'm just I'm sort of playing around there now.
Right.
About having the high level method, and I mean you could. What was I thinking there? Maybe it would be nicer to have this and then do or just even
Invite results, yeah.
That kind of that's
Right.
a bit more coherent, isn't it? There, it's like
And you could like do the to.json in the method itself. So
okay, yeah, you could have
that might be a better option.
Nah. Again, you can. I mean, I'll guess I'll just. Okay, I really better get into the next. That
Yes,
guys, that was.
messages are- Your commit messages are really descriptive, Sam.
Well, that's what we did. And it's a branch that's totally broken. So, but it's there. It's there for. I'm using it for sharing now. Okay, right. That was good fun, guys. I'm looking forward to getting doing more local support pairing soon, and also bringing in some Maker students to pair with us. So,
Cool.
bye for now. Go on.
Thank you, Sam.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So we could quickly just dump that into what we have here in the controller.
Hold on, Johnny. Are you sharing?
I am sharing. I'll teammate here. I don't know. Okay.
Wow, that was good. Wow.
Yeah.
Sam has an incredible, incredible power to look at the overview. I mean, he just has this amazing ability to come into a piece of code and just. I mean, I'm just amazed at how good he does that. just like he can look at it, 20 pieces of code, and I guess this comes with experience, and just break it down in the flow of the action. See that he went to the browser first. He said, this is what we want to do, and then just grab the code and put it in pieces that kind of reflect the action of the flow in the browser. That was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. How to check out a specific file from a remote is git checkout remote/branch and then the specific file, I hope. I'm just going to type this and see what happens. App controllers. This is going to tell me I can't do this, but we'll just repeat it. Invitations. Are you there, Marcelo?
Yeah, I am. I think you went RoboCop.
It's being shaky.
Now I see your face.
Yeah. It just kicked me out and made me rejoin. Okay.
Yeah, I see your face.
Right. Let me turn back on screen share.
But, and I think I lost the teammate. Can you type something on the teammate?
I don't think you lost the teammate.
No, it's okay.
All right, so let's foreground and how do I refresh buffer? Vim refresh buffer. Get an external change. Oh. Clinny. Hey. That's cool. Okay. So we have his code here. Here's where we get to start pulling it out into a service. I suppose we could see where we are with the acceptance tests.
But I think it's broken, right? Is it?
Right, key not found values. That will be easy enough to fix first. The key is called something different in this code. Right. By the way, what does the color scheme solarized? What is? Oh, it's interesting. I think I need to do solarized.
That has a white background, and the one that he was talking about, I think it was the one that comes up sometimes that is kind of gray.
Can you share your screen? I want to compare what I have to what you're seeing.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
All right. Johnny.
All right, let me take a look at your screen here.
Actually, I got an error in there that scheme is.
Don't worry about it. I have that same error. If you look at my screen, you can see the same thing. It does look like you have different colors than me. So we can keep it at default because the non-default color scheme, for whatever reason, is not having a good blend of colors.
If you put it, I'll tell you which. Yeah, that seems to be, for me, works perfectly. But the one that Sam was complaining about is the one you had before that.
I know.
It was
Anyway,
kind of
the one I had
gray.
before that is the opposite version of what we just had here.
Yes.
So let's get this to the new name of invite list and run test. And the problem is that it returns a different email. Email is invalid. Interesting. That's probably because it's being passed in incorrectly. So let's do raise email.inspect. Run that test. Oh, so we have the key switch. I just raised email.inspect and it gave me 4. So let's just let's try that. Can't add a new key into hash during iteration. That's what I thought, Sam. Yeah. I'm gonna post this message.
So what is the in line?
Right. Okay. Let's see if there's any way around this.
So what is that? Oh, you added email and organization ID, and he's complaining about that.
No, I didn't add anything. I just put it. Yeah, I just put it in a order that it was supposed to be in. It had that to begin with.
Oh, okay.
Um. Mm-mm. Let's try dupe. Du, 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 du. And just as a cheat, so let's look at the possibility of doing. Hey, what was the effect of map on the hash again?
The effect of map.
No particular effect. I think like map just creates a new array.
Right. So,
What error are you getting now?
I mean, the one you would expect. You can't.
Add a key.
Whoops. What did I do? Did I save it? No, I didn't save it. That you can't change the thing that you're iterating over.
But why does it say you can't
Not
add a new
originally.
key?
Huh?
I mean, like why does it say you can't add a new key? Like shouldn't it be like? I mean, if you are using the same old keys, then
Because I think writing to a hash, at least in this format that we have on line 16, is technically adding a key. That's how it is implemented, and then it overwrites the key during the add. We could try a different thing. We could try update, but I think it's going to have the same effect.
try that.
Do invites update. You okay?
Marcelo?
Somebody died.
I'm okay. I'm alright.
It sounded like someone stabbed you in the back.
I sneezed.
I think you muted at the time, the wrong time you were sneezing, so it seemed like that. Shouldn't that be comma? Or no?
Same error. Yeah, I mean, update is just the same as merge bang, and so when I'm passing it is an actual hash with the curly braces off.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's a way to do this.
Just try Stack Overflowing that error code. They might give you a better way to do that.
I'm skeptical, but sure.
Will it work in the console?
All right. Let's do Ruby Baba.
We both are opening the same blog post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I try to do.
Yeah, I think that the method you used with dupe or DUP
Yeah.
or how that might be the only solution.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. Like? It does almost the same thing.
Right. So you would think this works, right?
Yeah, this works, right? Yeah, and this is an error with the request spec because you haven't changed how it works, maybe.
Good point. So let's go to the requests. I mean, why would I need to change it? Because it was working on the previous one.
Hold on. I mean, shouldn't it be like org ID as the key and org email as the
Not right now, because we haven't changed the view. We're still relying on get invitations
no.
to do that reduce.
Okay, but still, the return value should be like have a look at what the return value is. Like, go to the error message again. So
It's returning the original thing rather than the thing we mutated.
I mean, like, you see how it returns 11 invited and 12 error email has already been taken. I mean, just as we just as the new version.
That's what it expected, not what it got.
No, I think that's because like you have a difference in the how you're comparing in the request spec. Like, open the request spec where you're comparing it. I mean, doing the should equals or something. So where are you doing the should equals? Yeah, you see, that's opposite. Like, I think.
No, this is
Never
correct.
mind. No, never mind.
Let's do some. Okay, let's. What's it called? Raise invites. Just to sanity check this. Inspect.
Why don't you just put?
Nah. So.
That's all right.
Is that no? That's actually not what we want. We wanted it to be 13. Yes, hello.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the effect
Well,
of
it seems like
invitations.
then the reduce isn't working, I guess.
Yeah, looks like it.
Was it 12 or 13?
What is get invitations? Get invitations is going to get params fetch invite list.
And how is it even going to work? I mean, you're just reducing it. You are not changing the values of the keys, right? Of how they are arranged.
So let's do a debugger.
I mean, what you would want is something like right now, if you have a look at the params, or
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Params.fetch invite list.
yeah, so
So
you see like
yep.
yeah,
Let's just, as a sanity check, see this fail with the
invite list
update.
fail.
Oh, yep, good name, good call. Right, so I was wrong about that transformation. So what's the correct transformation? 'Cause this
14
is,
to
uh-huh.
14 to ESLO.
Yeah, of course. What's the correct way to get that transformation?
I think again each like dupe.h each.
Okay, so we'll do invite list dot dupe dot each, and then we want to just be
Okay, that's wrong.
yeah, we need to be building a hash here. So
Each by two, or how do you do that? Uh,
each pair,
each pair. No. Like when you get two of them, like a specific number of them, like
each slice.
yeah, each slice. Do each slice by two.
Let me try something with reduce real quick. Hash, and then what we want is the, I think this is how it's coming in, and then we need to do new hash. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, each pair. Because we
Or
need
what you could do
two.
is you could do invite list dot flatten, and then you get the like you do these flatten, then that gives you these. Or wait, what?
What about this? Like list.
No. Okay, try doing. Hold on, I saw that method, but I don't find it. I was going through the documentation. So. Okay. Just do dot to array dot flatten. I mean hash dot
Okay.
to array dot flatten.
Invite list dot.
To a
Oh, you
dot
want to take
flatten.
one of these?
No, just do that. Like
I
to
mean,
a
it's already an array.
no, and then wait. So it was an array when it originates.
Yeah, so let's go to each, right? And then we'll do that thing that you want.
Wait, just do an invite list once, please. Like just puts what's an invite list.
Right there. Um,
Okay.
uh, oh wait.
Okay. Before you
This
do
is,
that, can I try one more thing?
so let's do hash, what you were suggesting, to array. Let's just see that first a moment. Oh, no method to array for fixed num. All right, so go ahead.
Hold on. Okay. Invite list dot reduce. Yeah. Now. False.
This is using Vim key bindings, so if you want to go to the end of the line, you need to use Shift A
Okay, I know. Or dollar.
or dollar.
Ah. A
Mm-hmm.
E uh, uh okay. Now escape K dollar A dot to A dot flatten.
Mm.
Yep. Now okay. How do I delete every alternate key? Hold on.
Well, here's where you could do your each slice.
No,
So
I
let's
just want every alternate key. Get odd
then do
element of
each
array. No,
slice.
there'll be a easier way to do that. So hold on. Before you do that, just give me a minute. There'll be just some method or some trick to do that. So and then no, that's not working. Okay, then just do each slice, I guess. Well then, like I just want the second and the fourth one, right? I mean, I just want the second and the fourth one, and then hash them to each other.
Yeah.
So just that's why I just want to like.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is how
So
to do this.
let's
Hold
do
on.
values at,
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly.
and then
Can I just paste it? Hold on.
sure.
Okay. No, why is that wrong?
Well, I mean, it has a different
Oh yeah.
setup.
Okay, so I need to assign that to an array again.
We could
So
just go change the view real quick. I'd rather do
yeah,
that.
that's yeah. No time, like no reason wasting all this time.
Right. So let's get rid of that debugger for now and open up. I think we need to.
Invitations.js.
Yeah. And so right now this is being passed in as an like
No, no,
that.
you could just do it at this place if you leave me the keyboard.
Let me type. We're going to do change word. We're just going to make that a hash now.
What was it before?
An array.
Okay.
And we're just going to do. We're just going to do values.
Well,
Oh yeah,
before you
okay.
do,
So
yeah,
I'll just keep these two right here. It's cleaner if I just paste them and
and
then
back.
yeah, exactly. So we do values ID equals male. And we need some semicolons in here, right? So
And then var.
why do I need var in here? Yeah, you're right.
This is in CoffeeScript.
Yep.
Oh wait, does CoffeeScript even support that? I don't know.
I don't even know.
Equals.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't have equals in there. Replace equals.
And then add a comma at the end and delete the var at the next
Yeah,
line.
so we could just chain them. Um,
Equals.
Yep.
And put some spaces.
So, right,
Didi. Yeah.
and
Wait, what?
that looked weird. Why did it do that?
No, it was
Is-
fine. I guess. Yeah, just do that too.
Yeah.
Put a tab on email. Put the tab on email.
What do you mean?
Oh, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now you can try it out. Just remove the get invitations method that isn't even required.
Yep. And down here it still gets like that. Okay.
No, everything's fine
Um,
now.
yeah, it looks fine. So we just can come in here. We'll leave that for now. We won't touch it. Actually, we might as well just remove it. It's broken anyway. And
11, 12, 13.
we just want to say,
No, you don't want to do anything there.
well, we need to do params dot. Let's just call invites equals params
Yeah.
dot fetch invite list, and we'll keep this raisin here, and we'll run this. It looks like we didn't save it.
No, it looks like it doesn't even work. Oh yeah,
Well,
you didn't save it.
Did I not save it? It looks saved up here. Oh, maybe because I'm running Zeus. Let me just toggle Zeus, restart Zeus. I don't know if that might be it.
How do you know if it's saved or not?
If there's a, here, I'll modify it. Which, okay, so see the plus there? At the blue
Okay.
status
Yeah, yeah.
bar across the middle, there's a plus. Goes away. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I restarted Zeus. I wonder if that's going to have any effect. So why am I still
Effect.
getting an array of hashes?
Can you just save it again? Like manually save it.
Oh, I know
There's
why.
no.
Because the test has me doing that. The test is the old version.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go for the invitations. And in here,
At the top.
yep. So we're just going to have, yeah.
By the way, to replace just one character, it was R, right?
Yep. Did
Okay,
I
you need
not
to.
say that?
No, no, that's all right. You run it again.
Now maybe I need to restart Zeus?
No. The problem is, just do params.fetch invite list, and then just put a like zero
Oh,
add
I
array
still
access 0.
Yeah, I'm still making this in an array, so it doesn't need to be an array. Oh wait, yeah, it doesn't need to
Just
be an array. There should be a hash, right? So this is going to be
No, that's wrong again. Yeah, just yeah.
Oops. And then this is gonna need to be a hash.
Done. Yeah, that's just the indentation seems wrong.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reduce the indentation to like this, and then just get rid of that, and I just need to add a comma back in here.
Try running that.
Right, okay.
There we go.
So we're raising the right thing now, so let's get rid of that. And run it again.
Process. Okay, yeah.
Oh, so it's not letting the
Phantom on the okay.
the divides.resend invitation isn't being processed correctly, perhaps.
No, that shouldn't be the problem, no? Like,
Yeah, you're right. I don't think that would be the problem. Oh, I still have the dupes thing in here. Do I need that still? Yeah, I probably do.
I think the result of inviting user is returning the wrong thing.
Okay.
Have a
So
look at that.
let's just throw a debugger in the middle here.
Yeah, try running the result of
So
inviting
user.errors.any question mark. So user.errors. Email is invalid. What is the email? 20. Oh, I have this switched around again. Okay. So
ज़्यादा कुछ
let's just raise inspect or email.inspect. Okay, so switch these. Stay in insert mode while I'm at it. I guess I didn't need that. So now we're raising the email. So we still have the problem where it's inviting. Oh, well, actually, it's sending back the email. Whoops. Okay. So result of inviting user is responding with an email. Or it's actually, I think what's happening here is raise invites dot inspect. We're still not grabbing back the correct thing. This whole, you can't modify the thing you're iterating over is what's causing us problems. I wonder, I don't think so, but new invites. I really don't think this is a problem, but just sanity new invites dot inspect. Right, so I don't think each returns its value. So maybe what we need to do is okay, let's
you could use map, then return an array, and then later on you can just flatten it up. What do you think?
Let's try just separating the dupe out up here. New invites
I mean that won't do
equals,
much, right?
or let's just call this invites dupe. Dupe equals invites.dupe. And then we'll iterate over invites.dupe, but make changes to invites, right? So let's just use the delete key here liberally. Invites dupe. And then raise the original invites. Change a word. Oops, that was too much. Oh well. Raise invite dot inspect from this test. And we see the right thing now. Okay, so okay, we just need to explicitly return invites here. And this is probably something that we could refactor to be a lot more straightforward, maybe with a different approach.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Let's run the cucumber.
Like after that runs, can you just put a debugger before the return? I just wanted to see something.
What I'm actually going to do is give you control for 30 minutes. I'm going to shower.
Yeah, just give me a debugger before you go.
Well, you can. I'll leave you in this session here, so you can do whatever you want.
Okay. So, like, what's the goal? Like, since all
Actually,
the
can we
tests
commit right now?
Yeah. Why don't you commit, John?
are just commit right now.
Okay.
What is the branch name?
In refactor.
Yep.
In
So git
refactor?
status git commit am all acceptance tests passing. Time for more refactoring. And if you want, I'll push as well.
What is your key mapping
Huh?
for running the test?
RT and RC, or comma RT, comma RC. Git
I think that mapping will be gone now.
It's not going to be gone because I didn't quit. I did Control Z. It's in the background, but if you do quit, then yeah, it will be gone if you ever quit Vim. Do you know that whole Control Z thing? Control Z goes back, and then foreground brings this back up.
So how do you go back? I mean, go front.
FG. FG for foreground.
Or okay. So,
I'm going to mute myself.
yeah, I'll probably be gone for 10 minutes to have dinner, so I don't know. I mean, you could keep this session open at that time.
So pretty.
Yeah.
Anything that we need to work on this, or you're gonna have dinner?
Yeah, I'll need to go. I mean,
Okay.
I could just leave it as it is and then come
I
home
need
and then
I need to go too. So, but I won't be able to come back. I need to be. I'll probably be out for a couple of hours. So,
Okay.
wanted to check with you. Are you going to be available maybe tomorrow to work on a little bit more on the feature?
Scrum?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
John was giving me a hand to start writing the test.
Yeah, I remember.
So I want to show you that, and maybe we can work on maybe cleaning up the modal window a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow, or well, night for me. Maybe today for me, tomorrow morning for you.
Yeah,
Would
sure.
that be okay?
Yeah, yeah,
All right. I'll ping you. Okay.
yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, 30 more minutes. Go ahead and work on this if you want. I'll be
Okay.
back in 30.
Yeah. Let me see what I can refactor.
If you commit this and take it into your own computer, you could get credit for a commit, because right now all the work is being done on my GitHub name. It's up to you. Anyway, I'll be back in 30.
Sure.
Hello. All right. 10 minutes, okay. I'm gonna look at your SSH though. Gotcha. I'm not gonna change anything. I just might commit and push.
Shit.
Hello?
Hey,
Okay, sorry for the 10 minutes. I had an important client meeting.
no problem.
Okay, so I guess you pushed up my changes then.
Yeah,
Are you experimenting with them?
yeah, they're good. So, I just had to throw in result of inviting around the second element of the array, which actually reads pretty nicely. I'm not sure if we'll change this. Result of
Hold on.
inviting invite user. That, those are
Let
two
me just
methods
have a look.
composed. Sorry, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me just have a look at what you've done till yet. Can I
Yeah.
have a look at? Can I have a look at the? What do you say? The
Do you
code?
see it up here on the screen?
Oh, okay, yeah. So
I'm
yeah, you're trying
pronouncing
out
the
with that,
debugger.
right? Hello?
Yeah. What did you say?
Oh yeah, you're trying out how to change that, right? Yeah, got it.
Right. And so one change in the code that I did, the only change in the code that I've done, is you see result of inviting
Yeah.
wrapped around invite user. That you had invite user email org, and that was giving a whole user in there. But if I put that inside of result of inviting, we actually get the thing we want. You see that it returned an array with each slice through them. And if I have an array of arrays, that can be turned into a hash with the hash square bracket notation. But I just need to make sure, because map invites that each slice
Can I try something?
do enough. I need to map it.
Can I try something?
Let me finish this thing I had on my screen.
Oh.
So I don't know if I could just throw map in there like that. I need to take it down a notch. Delete word. Insert. Delete.
By the way, I think there is a better way to do this. Hold on. Can you just like copy what you've done till yet, and then just exit out and then delete flatten and try it.
Let me try just the rest of this.
And can I show you something? If there's a better way to do this, so hold on. How's that?
Oh fuck, that's definitely a better way. So just
So that is where I left off.
Nice.
That's just a splat operator. Gives arguments
Yeah.
to
No.
the hash.
Interestingly, just okay. That's good enough for me. How come regular invites is just that as well? So.
No, I mean internally both are different because like you're just doing your puts, right? So internally one is an argument object, like what's internally argument and an argument object in internal C2B. So that's
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I mean like if you pass in invites, that's just an array we should pass in, but if you like the star invites is basically something that can be passed as like 4 arguments to the method.
Right. So it's coming in as 4 arguments. I guess I don't. Okay. What is hash with? Is it the same as .new and then you pass in an array?
Yeah, try that. Star invites.
Yeah, I think star invites is the right one. But I just wanted to see for sure that the regular one. Star invites.
Okay, so hash bracket is something else, I guess. Hold on.
Yeah, interesting. I'm trying to interpret what that means. You see how the second is 0.1. Weird.
Hold on, I think hash. I mean, both are different, so
Yeah.
not really sure.
I'm gonna take a look at what square bracket notation means.
Got it. Oh, all right. So hash is like if you have a look at the documentation, that's basically one way to create a new hash. When hash.new, I think it's just passing it in a new hash, it seems. So a hash bracket is basically convert an array to a hash.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. When you pass an argument.
Whoops. So pretty. Hello.
Dragged the Ruby documentation tab onto the Hangouts tab, so just reloaded with. Yeah, I think that's not required. If you just wrap hash around the original thing, that should be enough.
True.
Oh yeah, that
That
might
looks
not
like.
be.
It might be unappealing, but let's take a look at what that would it really be. So we would actually I don't mean DB? DB? Oh. DB. Cool. Okay, so insert hash and then
Star.
oh yeah, okay. Da-da. Insert star, and this one will eventually have to be insert star too. But let's actually comment this out for now.
Yeah, that should pass everything. Wait, and can you just show me what you did with that invite user and the invited user or whatever that is? And the result of
Oh,
inviting.
the module.
Like, oh, okay, got it. So you were basically like separating result of inviting user into two parts, right?
I don't understand the question.
No, like you said, like you added an extra method called invite underscore user.
What I did just now, you're talking about, is add result of inviting up here. When I stole your code, I had invite user email.organization, and that returns a user instance, which was great. But what we actually wanted as the element in this array was that passed into result
Okay.
of inviting.
Oh, so
And I
I had
just
something missing. All right.
right, but it's okay because you had the overall picture perfect. So I just also was marveling at the words, how they came together here. Result of inviting invite user email organization ID. You know,
Huh.
we could extract this out into a method and
No,
name it something different, but it almost reads perfectly the way it is.
I feel. I mean, if Ruby could just have another something like for a hash dot map. I mean, a map that returns a hash instead of just a map that returns array. But unfo- unfortunately, Ruby doesn't. So just have to bear
Hmm.
with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that. I mean, if we wanted to be even terser, we could switch invites for params.fetch invite list, but I think we're
No, no,
pushing the
no,
limit the way it is.
no. That's only for golfing, not here.
Yeah, and what do you think? Should I take the hash back off and do it like the commented out version?
No, no, yeah, do that. It looks a bit no, but the problem with that is you're just adding an extra invite variable. Oh, yeah, you could just do map bang and then do that, right?
I could, but
I
the
mean, something like if you hand me over, then
yeah, yeah.
X.
Oh, right, to save the
Yeah. So then
assignment.
this looks better, I guess, because you don't have the extra assignment. Which I mean, assignments are always ugly. Now that I come to functional programming.
Yeah, no, I agree. Uh, it's at the end there. Yep. Although technically we're doing not the right thing in terms of functional programming, because functional programming wouldn't actually
Yeah.
overwrite the array, would it?
But that creates new objects, so
Right, but functional programming trades a lot of object creation. It's part of the trade-off of doing functional programming. Now, I agree that we'll do this here, because I do like not doing variable
I mean,
assignment at the top of a block.
but we're
But
doing the same thing, right? Invites, like with invites.map and invites equals basically the same thing. You just
true.
aliases, but I mean, I said
Yeah,
like I
I agree.
don't like the look of invites. I mean, an assignment here, so
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that is better. What
now
else?
comma rt is what all that's left.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so it doesn't have it.
Do we need to put the bang back in there?
No, there's no I think there's no
I
map
mean the
bang.
splat. If we do, I know this is ugly as hell, but let me splat this. Uh,
Doesn't help. No, that's nothing. That returns a that returns a regular hash again. So
right. Okay. It returned
no,
something freaking weird.
no,
Did I run the
don't do
wrong
that.
tests? No, I didn't. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. I think. Okay, yeah. Try putting the splat on the whole thing. No, that doesn't do anything. So I think you need to have the original as it was. Nothing much to do there. And by the way, map is on object or map is on hash?
It's I believe on enumerable. but enumerable is mixed into array.
Okay, and hash as well, so that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I go here, am I sharing my screen?
Nope.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not even required. Hold on. If you hand me control over for
Yeah.
a moment.
Yep.
What was the error again? So undefined method map for hash with indifferent access. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a active support hash. I think if it would have been just a Ruby hash, that would have worked. Also, it seems because you see it
Okay.
says, that's why what I think it is. Because let me try that out locally. Let's see what happens.
I'm gonna see what the
IRP
Stack Overflow says.
A1 A2 the map no, never mind, there is no method map for hash. That's because I think uh, remember the previous error where it said you can't modify access keys of a hash.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's related to that. So I think we need to go with the assignment and keep that for a later refactoring maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like because I don't have much time here. 3 more minutes or 5 more minutes, I guess.
Sure. Oh, undo.
Yeah, just do another undo.
Right. Yeah, let's just undo until we get back to the... Wait, was this working right here?
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. What was the acceptance test?
What was what?
Cucumber?
Oh, I haven't mapped it in this session.
Okay, you need a new set. Me too.
Actually, it's sort of a pain to map. Let me go out to
Oh, you
the
exited?
real command because it doesn't have tab completion. Features, admin, without
Invitations.
without users report, features, admin, user reports.
I run everything, doesn't take much time.
Well, all the Cucumber takes a very long time.
No, I said under organization report.
That's still too many. Foreground. And we
You didn't run
have
it.
map, comma, shoot. Carriage return.
Interesting. Seems to work. Just come in and push if you're done. I mean when it passes.
Mm-hmm.
How do I turn off this Vim and Bash?
How do you what?
Turn off Vim and Bash.
You mean like go back to your terminal without closing Vim?
No. Like the Vim key mappings in Bash.
Oh, you
I
mean
mean,
Because it doesn't happen in Bash. I don't know what you're talking about. It
No,
only
no,
happens
the
in IRB,
and the terminal as well, right?
not the entire terminal, no. The regular Bash syntax remains. It's only when you go into IRB or Rails console
Okay.
or Ruby
Okay,
environment.
how do I turn it off then?
No clue.
Okay, interesting. Okay, then I'll need to go off. So bye.
Okay. All right. Good working with you.
I guess I'll keep working on it tomorrow if I have time after I finish client work.
Sure. Sure. Good luck with whatever your project is.
Yeah. Yeah, same legacy app.
Mm. Okay.
Did I just close your session?
Nope. You left your own session.
Oh, I just
Which
detached.
command did you do?
Control AD.
Yeah, that's just a usual detach. I think if you were to do Control D, you might actually have killed my session.
Yeah, that's good. Done. Okay, then bye.
All right. See you.